Hello, I'm Shazad Haq. Welcome to the Chinese Super League show brought to you by Orientivity. Each week we look at the latest stories surrounding the CSL with action and analysis. With me to do that is Rish Roshan Rai, a former professional who spent some time playing in China and against Chinese teams. Roshan, good to have you with us. What was it like playing in China in the AFC Champions League back in 2010, and how have things evolved since then?
Well, great to be here, Shaz. Yeah, it was in 2010. We went away to Henan with Warriors FC, previously known as Singapore Armed Forces FC, and we picked up a great result away from home, just that 1 point there. You could see, even back then, there was a wonderful appetite for football in China. It was a full house. You know, there were people on the streets as the buses were going into the stadium, and the game's just developed over the last few years in there. That was in 2010 where we played in the AFC Champions League. 2013, just 3 years later, Guangzhou Evergrande picked up their first AFC Champions League title, and then 2015, 2 years later, they did it. They achieved the feat again. And you know, I think some of the clubs have looked at them and thought, you know, we can do it as well. Yes, investment was needed, but you know, it's making it very exciting. There's lots of hype now about this Chinese Super League.
Yeah, we certainly hope so, don't we? And of course, all the big news around the CSL has been those eye-popping transfers, the kind of money that's being bandied about. Well, it certainly has got people excited, Roshan, and that sets us up beautifully for the season ahead.
Well, it's got me excited. I mean, you look at some of the names that are coming into this competition, the likes of Oscar, Tevez, Hulk is already there with Shanghai SIPG, and the two Shanghai sides that have spent so much money and invested in their teams, they'll be expecting to put in a big challenge in the CSL this season. Shanghai Shenhua, of course, just have domestic competitions to worry themselves with. Hebei China Fortune, another club that I think has bought well in the transfer window, and it's not just with the foreign signings. I think they've brought in some domestic experience, the likes of Zhang Chengdong in that side, alongside with Ren Hang in there, just to help them out in defensive situations. So, you know, teams that are in and around there hopefully will be challenging Guangzhou Evergrande, Jiangsu Suning, another one. You know, these are teams that you expect to be pushing for a CSL title this season.
Well, you mentioned Jiangsu Suning. They were in action. We've already had a game this season, and that was in the Super Cup, which saw Guangzhou Evergrande up against Jiangsu. These are rivals that go back a few years now. And once again, Guangzhou came out on top, Roshan.
That's right. You feel a little bit for Jiangsu Suning. You know, last season missing out on the FA Cup, missing out on the CSL title as well to Guangzhou Evergrande. And again, it was just this moment of brilliance from Alan. It was a fantastic goal from the edge of the box into the top corner. You know, feel a little bit sorry for Jiangsu and Choi Yong-soo because they've got a stable sort of setup over there. They'll be hoping that they can push on further. I know they've had a very good pre-season, lots of hard work that they've put in. So let's see if they can put in their performances on the pitch.
Well, Jiangsu Suning quickly got over all of that because they were involved in the AFC Champions League. In fact, there were 3 Chinese sides who took part in the competition. It's been a good week for Chinese teams in the AFC Champions League. Perhaps a bit surprising that the strongest one didn't do as well as the other 2.
Well, always difficult to go away to Korea, and then Guangzhou picking up a 2-0 draw. And you say the cliche in football is you go away from home, pick up a point, it's a good result. Suwon were very strong in that game, so Guangzhou needed that brilliance once again. Alan, he's had a fantastic start to the season. I think Liao Lisheng and Wang Shangyuan, who they brought in to help them in terms of their under-23 quota, I think they've been brilliant for them, Guangzhou Evergrande as well, down that right-hand side. The other 2 Chinese sides, Shanghai SIPG, great start to the AFC Champions League competition, going away to FC Seoul in the first week, picking up 3 points there, 6 points now. And Jiangsu Suning as well, who haven't looked spectacular in this competition, but still 2 wins from their first 2 games. So, you know, it's gotten off to a great start, certainly better than some of the Korean sides, in fact, like FC Seoul, for example, getting trashed by the Urawa Reds.
I think we're expecting them to get through the group stages, aren't we? All 3 Chinese Super League sides.
I think so. I mean, the starts that they've had, Shanghai SIPG, I thought, were probably in the toughest group in the competition, and some are calling it the group of death, alongside the likes of the Western Sydney Wanderers in there, FC Seoul in there, Urawa Reds in there as well. I'm looking forward to the next time Shanghai SIPG meet up with the Urawa Reds. That should be one to look out for. But yes, going forward, they look very comfortable in the AFC Champions League at the moment. Now they have to turn their attentions towards domestic business.
Yeah, that's right, because the Chinese Super League is almost upon us. This weekend marks the first round of fixtures. I'm going to get Roshan to give us his take on how things are looking up and which other matches that we really want to keep an eye out for.
Well, I think first off, you have to look at Guangzhou going up against Beijing Guo'an. I think that's a big one. And this season, I was reading about how the fixture computer makes sure that every weekend there's a big game to look forward to. You know, we've also got Shanghai SIPG against Changchun Yatai with Odion Igalo in that side. Let's see how the likes of Oscar deal with domestic football at the start of domestic football. Shandong Luneng had a poor season last time out. I think teams you'll be expecting them to try and push on this season. They come up against Tianjin Teda. And then Henan Zhenye at home to Hebei China Fortune. We've talked about Hebei China Fortune. It's time for them, if they are serious about challenging for the title, need to pick up a big 3 points at the start of the season. Shanghai Shenhua as well, as we mentioned, that one against Jiangsu Suning, I think it's a tie to look out for this weekend in the Chinese Super League.
Well, thanks a lot for that analysis, Roshan. The talk is all over. It's time for the action. We're looking forward to all those games this coming weekend. And we'll be back next week to review all the action with all the highlights as well. Roshan will be back with us doing that. Don't forget, you can join us as well on our Facebook page. That's Chinese Super League Fans Asia. And add your comments and let us know what you think, and maybe we'll also read some of those messages out. From me, Shazad Haq and Rish Roshan Rai, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you again soon.